For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall. What number are you using? I'm saying, did you go through the 7 already?
Nah, so we're on verse
29.
29 to 35.
So how many brothers you got left? 3 more. Okay, I'll come back and do 2 more. I'll be right back. All kinds, son.
Yeshabia.
This is Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy among his people. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month of even, at even. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. Verse 33, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
I'm out you up here. Pagaibawa, present thyself.
Pagaibawa, Ban Yahawah, Ban Yashala.
Pagaibawa, Ban Yahawah, Ban Yashala.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathah.
Shabi. Going to be reading the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 36 through 42 in the Hebrew.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36 in the Hebrew. Shabbat Yom Yom. Okora Yabwa. Asha. Yahweh. Yawam. Hashamayanya. Okora Wadash. Yahya. Wakam. Wakarabtham. Asha. Yahweh. Atazorah. Hawa. Ka. Mala Akaf. Ibada La'a. Aishwa. 37. Allah. Idea. Yahweh. Ashar. Makora Awa. Thumb. Makora Aya. Wadash. Lahakora Yam. Lahakora Yab. Ashar. La Yahweh. I love. Umanacha. Zabak, Wanasakyum, the bar, Yawam, where your wum was. 38, Willabad, Shabbathum, Shabbathath, Yahweh, Wamalabad, within a waf you come, Wamalabad, Kal, the dar you come, Wamalabad, Kal, the waf you come, Shaw, the Thunwa, the Yahweh.
The Day of Atonement and the Feast of Tabernacles and this
39, Akab, Bakhamasha, Aisha, the Wam, Lakadash, Ashab, Yaya, Sap, come, Ah, the Af, Arataza, the Khagwa, Af, Khag, what was it, Kaga? What was it? Yahweh, Shabbaith, Yum, Yawam, Hara Ashwan, Shabbathwan, Yawam, Hashamayanya, Shabbathwan, 40, Wulaquatham, Lakam, Yawam, Hara Ashwan, Harayah, Aitaza, Hadar, Kapath, Mariam, Wa'inat, Aitaza, Ibath, Wa'irabia, Nakhal, Washamach thumb, Lapanya, Hawa, Allahayakam, Shabbaith, Yum, 41, Khag thumb, Afwa, Chaga, La Yahawa, Shabbaith, Yum, Washana, Washana, Kakwa, Iwalam, Adarath Yakam, Wachadash, Hashabayaya, Kagawa, Athwa, 42, Wasakaf, the Shabwa, Shabbaith, Yum, Kal, Rock, Wayasha Allah, the Shabwa, Wasakaf. That's it. I was going to read in English. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36 to 42.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. Verse 37. These are the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and drink offerings, everything upon his day. Verse 38. Beside the Sabbaths of the Lord, and beside your gifts, and besides all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto the Lord. Verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath.
Read that again if you could. Read that verse again. This is a very, very powerful and important verse that he's reading right here. And it pertains to our lives in a very, very strong way, especially now that we in this time in the end. As we in this time in the end, we're going to begin to really understand these scriptures and why we have the high holy days that we have. Read that again,
Verse 39. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land.
Now remember now, back then, gathering the fruit of the land was our money, our economy, our whole lives was done by bringing in these cattle and bringing in, all the vegetables and everything that we had. That's how we made it through the winter. It was very, very important. It would be the same as your 401k today, same as your bank account, your investment accounts. It would be the same thing. That's what we were dealing with back then. That's why the high holy day was so important, because it was marking the end of the end of the summer harvest and the beginning of us storing up and preparing ourselves to get through the fight. The Lord always set us up to survive. And we got these records to survive now against a far worse enemy than the weather. The enemy we fighting against now is the other nations that want to eat us alive. And you're going to see that in this scripture. I'm going to pull a scripture on this in a second. Go ahead. Finish the verse. Was that it? Finish that verse for me.
Ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. Verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
And back then we got out of our houses. We got away from all our modern stuff, all the stuff that made us wealthy and great, and we went back into them woods. And we cut that wood down and we built booths. Booths are like, a small dwelling place. It's really where cattle you built booths for cattle to keep your cattle in. But we built those booths to live in, humbling ourselves before the Most High, bringing ourselves back to who we are. And let me tell you something. Big shout out to General Kobala Mob. General Kobala Mob, damn right, took us out in the woods. Took us out in the woods, man, and it was an amazing experience because we were able to get away from the city, get away from the madness, and just fall back and dwell on the Most High and on Christ, and to dwell on what our people lost and dwell on what was important. Our nation is important, man. Our brothers and sisters are important. And we were able to look at that. And we were able to also have a clear mind on what our problem was and what the heathens were doing to destroy us, man. And brother, we had some great revelations and things that we've already known. We were able to get together and expound on. I pray everybody get to do it together, in some way and shape and form in the future. But if I could, get me Nehemiah, the 8th chapter. I want you to start at the 11th verse. I want to show you something about Nehemiah. Let me tell you something. If you ever wanted to know a blueprint on how you take a nation like ours and how you work to get them free from the heathens who are eating them up alive, read the book of Nehemiah. The book of Nehemiah, boy, shows you how them brothers came together. And it shows you where the real problem is. Black leaders today and black people in them churches today, they full of stop blaming the white man. They full of That's not where the problem is. That is where the problem is, according to the Bible and according to the brothers who were in the past. They had to deal with this thing, man. And brothers that stand up and strong in the spirit, they're going to deal with this, even though it's going to be unpopular. Read that.
Nehemiah chapter 8.
Verse 11. Nice and loud.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 11. So the Levites stilled all the people.
You hear what he said? This is during the Feast of Tabernacles. And it said the Levite stilled all the people. You get out there to that camping ground and you get out to them woods, you're going to calm down from this nervous madness we in this city, man. Black people are full of hypertension, high blood pressure, stress. You ready to kill somebody half the time. And it's all because we in these cages called cities. There's really jail quarters, man. And it's ignorant and stupid to think that this man is ruling over us for 400 years, got nothing to do with it. Nobody gets mad if you say something about the East Indians. The Chinese, they talk, listen, presidents and politicians talking about the Chinese, disrespecting them like crazy. Do you hear black people upset? Hell no. Hell no. You might get a little backlash with the Arabs because, of course, the Arabs, some black people believe in the Arab religion. So you might get a little backlash. But for the most part, is anybody going to say anything to you? Of course not. Of course not. But say something about the white man and it's a problem. The heathens have gotten into our DNA damn near. And it have broken us away from the Most High. And we better get it back. We better take back all that is ours. The so-called Jew is arrogantly celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles tonight. I mean, arrogantly celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles. You understand? Like it's his own. Go ahead. Q call Katham.
Saying, hold your peace, for the day is holy. Neither be ye grieved.
Hear what the Lord said? Hold your peace. If you got a beef or problem during that time, the Lord said, hold your peace, man. This is a holy day. Don't be grieved. You got to fight out of the negative spirit that the demons want to put you in during these high holy days. And they'll give you practice on how to be that way all the time, man. We take joy in everything else. We should take great joy in what we do for the Most High. We should take great joy in having an identity of our own, man. And not an identity that we got to share with white people or share with other heathens. They don't have to share their identity with us. Why do we got to share our identity with them? Keep reading for me, warrior.
Verse 12. And all the people went their way to eat and to drink and to send portions and to make great mirth.
And when it said to send portions, it meant that they cut up those animals and they'd send pieces of those animals to other brothers and sisters, family members and cousins. They would send it around, give portions of those things out to other people. Go ahead.
Because they had understood the words that were declared unto them.
They understood these words. They understood that, and remember now, during the time of Nehemiah, they was coming out of captivity. They was coming out of the Persian Empire's captivity and finding out their culture and their identity and putting it all back together. That's what we're doing now. Let's examine it a little bit. Go ahead, Op.
Verse 13. And on the second day were gathered together the chief of the fathers of all the people, the priests and the Levites, unto Ezra the scribe.
That's right. Go ahead.
Even to understand the words of the law.
Brother, they came together, man, to understand these records that we have. Because once again, why you think we battling on the street all the time? Because our nation does not understand these records. They think these records mean we supposed to love the white man, come together with him and be part with him. That's not what these records are for, man. These records are not for that. These records are for us to build our empire and our nation. Go ahead, Op.
Verse 14. And they found written in the law which the Lord had commanded.
And everybody able to eat, right? Ain't nobody being held back. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Op.
And they found written in the law which the Lord had commanded by Moses, that the children of Israel should dwell in booths.
That's what this high holy day is we in now, that we closing out. And it's amazing, man, how Nehemiah and them under the Persian Empire coming out of that captivity, had to say to themselves, man, we had to go back and read the law and figure out what our high holy days were. That's a damn shame, man. Which shows you what? Like, let me see if somebody's thinking intelligently, man. What does that tell you about being in captivity? Anybody? That verse you just read there, what does it tell you about being in captivity? Show me your intelligence. Go ahead, Doc. Take a shot at it. Nobody? Go ahead, Doc. True, but something else. That's a good point, but something else. Go ahead, Doc.
Being in captivity, it takes our culture away from us.
That is so important, man. To think that you're going to be underneath another nation and they not taking away your identity is dumb. To think that you're going to be under another nation and we ignorant for saying separate from these nations. Get away from them. That we the ignorant ones. Stop blaming the white man. You brothers is blaming the white man on the corner all the time. They think we the ignorant ones. When we reading right here in Nehemiah that they came out of the captivity out and did not know what the hell was going on with their own identity, their own laws, their own rules of life. They didn't know what was going on. So when you go in captivity under another nation, you think you just got your culture and your identity? Please. We killed 20 million babies in the abortion clinic since Roe versus Wade. 20 million blacks and Latino babies in the abortion clinic. You telling me we understand our culture, our identity, who we are? Damn that, man. You ain't fooling me with that. You ain't fooling me with that. We are always battling these other nations. As long as you living under them, you are battling them other nations. It ain't going to be no day of love and peace because they going to eat you alive and you going to come out of captivity like we coming out now and you never going to know who the hell you are. You'll never know who you were and what your culture was. He's reading it right now. Go ahead, Doc.
In the feast of the 7th month, verse 15, and that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, go forth unto the mount and fetch olive branches and pine branches and myrtle branches and palm branches and branches of thick trees to make booths, as it is written.
You see that? He told them, man, go on out there, man. Grab the woods. Make booths, man. Let me tell you something. We're going to get to a place of real humility so we can get back to the Most High. We're going to eventually realize that all this that they've been glittering in front of us, thinking we're going to have a life and a career and be a part of this nation is ridiculous, man. When the Most High wants us back, we his babies, man. He wants his babies back. Keep going, Doc. Give me a little bit more.
Verse 16. So the people went forth and brought them and made themselves booths, everyone upon the roof of his house and in their courts.
That back then they used to have, houses made of wood or mud bricks. And so on top of the mud bricks, they would get the wood and build like a little cabin on top. Or in other places. And listen, this is how beautiful it was when we went back to it. Finish reading where they built them at. It said on the roof of the house. Go ahead.
And in their courts.
And in their courts, meaning buildings that had like a court. Or if you have a house, you got what they call it a front yard or a backyard. We built booths in the front and backyard. You see the so-called Jew do it now. If you go through his neighborhood right now tonight, you'll see the white Jews, the so-called Jews, with little booths, even though they're using tarps. But you see them with them little booths in the front of their yard. That's where they got it from. Stealing our culture. We're supposed to be the ones with that identity. You understand? And let me tell you something. I'm going to show you how mad Nehemiah and them was. You wonder why we act the way of what y'all angry at. What y'all blaming the white man for. Nehemiah and them was angry as hell. You're going to see in what I'm going to bring out tonight, they was mad as hell. And we should be mad as hell. The Lord said, I shall provoke thee with they that are not a God. These people ain't the Lord's chosen people, sitting up there dwelling in booths, our identity, claiming it to be ours. And man, if we say we speak it, Kanye West came out and said he going to DEFCON 3, but he can't really because he's a Jew. And what? What do they do? Cancel the hell out of him. That was probably part of his little plot. He probably buying social media or something, some scheme. But they still acted on it, didn't they? They shut him down immediately, and not just him, right or wrong. Did they not shut down, what's his name? Nick Cannon? Don't tell me if everybody got free speech, you could do what you want to do. That's BS, man. Your spirit is under attack. The demons don't want you to ever get your identity back. Why you think so much going wrong in black people's lives, Latino people's lives? Can't get nothing done. Can't get things straightened out. Because every demon in hell, man, is working against what you need to be working in. That's why, man, it was beautiful for us to get with General Q and get out there, man. We was going over scriptures, man, talking about our real struggle, man, and what is really happening and what we should be doing to go forward. And it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. You know what I mean? We ain't had to talk to an Edomite. We ain't had to talk to no heathen. I ain't see an Arab nowhere. Nothing but trees, woods, and squirrels. And a few of them spiders I had to kill because they was running up on me. I went out there and tried to use the men's room. A spider came in there about this big. Now, I ain't a woodsman. So I'm like, oh, snap. What am I going to do? I said to myself, well, sure. I'm going to just have to handle him like I would if I'm in the hood. I said, look, Mr. Spider, if you keep on going by, you don't mess with me, I ain't gonna mess with you. Isn't that how we deal with it in the hood? There was only one problem. That big ass spider turned. I had to go get on him. I said, look, man, I don't want no beef with you, man. I'm trying to tell you, go ahead. Do what you gotta do. But that long-legged beast started coming my way, man. I ain't had no choice, man. I had to put him down. You know? I had to put him down. Hood rules, yeah, man, in the woods. But it was beautiful, man. There's a place for selfishness. Don't be selfish with your brother, but be selfish over your nation. Your nation deserves for you to be selfish over it. Because this so-called Jew, he ain't trying to give it back. He got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity and they know it. But are they giving it back to us? Please. Please. They'll argue you to the death about it. They love to complain like you coming up against them and you coming up against them being a Jew. Go ask the Palestinians if they fair. Go ask them if they fair. Give me some more, brother.
Come. And in the courts of the house of God, and in the street of the water gate.
In the courts of the house of the Lord. So even where the temple and stuff was, in the courts, they had people was setting up booths out there. Okay? And in the streets of the gate of Ephraim. They would set up the booth right out there in the streets. It was beautiful, man. The whole nation was out and got away from all their worldly mindset. Got away from their wealth. Got away from everything and decided, you know what? I'm going to get up in here, man, humble myself before the Most High. Tell them where you at.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 16.
Going to 17. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths.
You see that? All the congregation that come up out of that captivity, man. The book of Nehemiah is a blueprint on how to come up out of captivity. Let me tell you something. The whole Bible is about us getting out of captivity under these heathens, man. And because of dumb, stupid preachers, we have never learned the things we needed to learn to become a strong and vibrant people, man. We never got what we supposed to get. How you going to become a strong and vibrant people when it comes your time to serve God, you singing and dancing? Even the white man who pretend like he's a righteous, innocent man, he talk about his days as a crusader. He talk about his days as a conqueror and what he killed and what he conquered, man. That British Empire, when that old broad dropped dead, man, did you see how much they ruled, how much empires they ruled? British Empire ruled every dark nation. Damn near every dark nation on the earth was ruled by the British Empire, right or wrong. And they act like it wasn't no problem. When they had that rock, y'all saw where they had that rock underneath that chair? You know what that rock meant, right? They called it the rock of destiny. And tried to claim that it was a rock that Jacob used. They're set up as a pillar. In other words, we sitting on the throne of Jacob. And hell, you couldn't tell them different with all the empires they was ruling. You couldn't hardly tell them anything. Like, they not playing with how they serve God. We in there with a tambourine, singing, dancing, playing instruments. They ruling their empire, and dare you come and try to get part of their empire. That's what the Lord brought us into these booths for, man. To put that back in our spirit, man, and make us whole again. Give me a little bit more.
Come. And sat under the booths. For since the days of Joshua, the son of Nun, unto that day had not the children of Israel done so.
You hear that? So for that long period of time, the children of Israel had not done so. The children of Israel had not sat there and learned their knowledge and who they were. Same thing in America. For 400 years, since the days of Kunta Kinte, if you will. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? We have not learned our identity, man. We have not been able to dwell and do the things that the Lord called us to do that please the Most High. But them days coming back, and we ain't sharing them with nobody. And you better understand, every heathen does not want you to be who you really are, man. Like, you ignorant if you believe that it got nothing to do with the heathen. And let me tell you something else too. People that think like that, their money is really, their God is really money. Like, if your God is just money, then it's easy for you to dismiss anything else until that money get taken, which is surely coming around the corner. This empire gonna fall, man. They 2 seconds from a nuclear war. 2 seconds from a nuclear war. All right. Q, give me that other scripture, man. What is it? I think it's either the 6th or 7th chapter, where it say that he was how they were selling and buying and selling at the gate, and how he said he had to shut the gate. Nehemiah said he had to shut the gate. This is another part of our captivity. When you don't have no identity, when you don't have your culture, then the other nations get to come along and prey on your people. And you can't come together. You can't bring no rules together. Why you think we in this situation we in? Because we can't come together because the heathens get to prey on us. Where you going with it, Q?
Nehemiah, the 7th chapter.
What verse?
Let's start at verse 15, I think.
Let's try 15.
Come.
Wait a
Nehemiah.
minute. 8 and
15?
No.
So did you want 13 and 21, sir?
Wait, is that the one where he go there? I believe that's it.
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 21. Then I testified against them.
No, go above that.
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 15.
Yeah, that's the one you showed me earlier. Go ahead.
In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath.
He saw them now. Everybody, when you're an Israelite and you learn the truth about yourself, you realize that you got to keep the Sabbath service. So everybody was trying to keep the Sabbath service, but this one crew was out there treading wine on the Sabbath service. Now, Nehemiah is trying to reestablish our laws. Why? Because he know these are the laws that was given to us by the Lord when we came out of captivity. What is he trying to do? He's trying to gain favor with the Most High by us doing the laws, statutes, and commandments all over again. That's what he's trying to do. Go ahead.
And bringing in sheaves and lading asses, as also wine,
Right. They were working in commerce. They making wine, transporting food and vegetables and different things, putting them on the mules. Go ahead.
Grapes and figs and all manner of birds,
Right. They selling everything. Go ahead.
which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day.
So they brought it into the city to sell it on the Sabbath day. Remember, all this is going on while Nehemiah is trying to get us to carry out the Feast of Tabernacles. And that's what's going on out here right now, right or wrong. Go ahead, Doc.
And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein.
Read that again.
There dwelt men of Tyre also therein.
The Arabs are a bunch of damn trinket salesmen. You ever go to an Arab country, brother, as a tourist, put extra buttons on your goddamn pockets. As you get off the damn plane, brother, them Arabs gonna try to sell you the air you breathing as you get off the damn plane and everything else. They are some trinket salespeople. And that's what they were doing to us, man. Once again, where you go to get the blunt from? The Arab store. Where you go to get your chicken from? The Arab store. Some drug dealers are selling drugs on the street, but some selling them out of them Arab store. Since they pulled out of Afghanistan, you got all kind of pipe shops opening up all over this country. Brother, they opening up pipe shops like they Walmarts or something. Go ahead, Op.
I remember when I first moved to Woodbridge from out of the projects in PG, and in the gas station, those Arab smoke shops, they selling crack pipes, freebase bowls. I mean, right, all sizes.
You see what I'm saying? Like they got a whole commerce going. Like everybody's sucking the life out of us, and we can't never say, look, them heathens got to get back up off us, man. You can't never say, oh, you racist. Oh, you stop blaming them. Because your God is money. So you don't care what heathen takes all of black people's money. You could care less as long as you get some. You could care how much they rob and destroy the Lord's chosen people. But the Lord rose up brothers like Nehemiah in the I.S.U.P.K. And they not playing. They're going to bring this nation back where it needs to be. And you see, that's why Nehemiah said what he said. You understand? Men of God, brother, men of God stand up to evil. Read that part where he say, I contended with him. What did he say?
Then I contended with the nobles.
Meaning he stepped to them nobles. Right. What the hell y'all doing? Why you like we do to the churches? Right. We step to them churches, man. We step to them mosques. Right. We step to them other religions and those black leaders, the black caucus and all of them. Why do you think we step to them? Because they sitting up there part of the hustle. I guarantee you, brother, listen to me good. They got a wave of Africanism coming into the black community like you ain't never seen before. I mean, me and the brothers tested it. We went to every black radio station. And every black radio station within a minute or two threw an African song on. And they coming back with the next Wakanda movie. There's a wave that they pushing of this Africanism. Now, here's the $1 million question. Do black leaders in Washington know that this is going on? You damn right they know this is going on. They done been told by the slave master, look, we trying to bring Africa in before the Chinese get Africa. Right. So we need Africa to be promoted and pushed among the people. Right. And so when you go to them black politicians and say, yo, man, why is you allowing all these Africans and other nations to come in here and set up their businesses and shop? Oh, brother, you a racist. But yeah, we've been here 400 years. They've been here 2 years. What's going on? Brother, you got to work hard like they do. You got to blah, 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 all that crap when none of that is true. Right. Them politicians ain't telling you how they funding these heathens because this slave master needs to win over Africa. So guess who got to sacrifice? You and I. Right. Nehemiah wasn't that type of brother. He wasn't that type of brother. He stepped to them. He contended with them. That's why we on these corners contending with them. That's why we hold that this feast that we holding tonight. This is why this feast is sacred. Because this is a feast that you can't bring an Arab to. You can't bring Ishmael up into this feast. No. No. And you better not bring a white man out in the woods with you. Well, goddamn. You just plain dumb and ignorant then at that point. I guess you ain't seen the Jeffrey Dahmer movie. It's the #1 movie in the world, the Jeffrey Dahmer movie, right now on Netflix. It's the #1 movie in the world because nobody can understand the methodical patience of a serial murderer like the white man. Nobody can understand the psychology of an animal like this. And that's why the whole world wants to see the damn movie, man. Hey, give me a Coke or something if y'all got it, or Pepsi or whatever you got. Throw it in a cup with some ice for me. To what? You understand? They don't understand. That's why it's the #1 movie. You cannot do these things. And that's what Nehemiah understood. So he was like, bring back them Feast of Booths. Give me a little bit more.
Then I contended with the nobles of Judah.
Go ahead.
And said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do?
See that? What evil thing is this that you do? You understand? I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman, so I don't care where the money come from, because I'm a businessman. You an evil man.
Right.
You an evil man. Nothing wrong with being a businessman. It ain't nothing wrong with making a ton of money. Nothing wrong with it. Make $1 million, make $2 million, make 10 million. Ain't nothing wrong with it. 100 million. But don't compromise your own people. That's right. Don't be the one that helps them prey on you. Michael Brown, who stirred up that whole thing in Ferguson, Missouri, was selling dope for the Arabs, man. Hey, you got an outlet over there somewhere I could use? Hey, do me a favor. You got ice? No ice? Okay, no sweat. What? So, yeah, if you got one, I want to just plug this in. This joint about to go. For water. No, in all that media coverage, in all that talk, nowhere in there did they say that Michael Brown was selling drugs for the Arabs. That he was in there trying to get money for things that he was doing for them, which made him nervous when he went outside and ran into that cop. He thought they called the cop on him. And he was going in there to get what he believed was his based on the relationship that they had. And plenty of these heathens sit back while we working for them. Listen, I pass them smoke shops out and it burns in my soul. You know why? Because I see the Arabs sitting in them smoke shops and they in the smoke shop with their wife, their kids. They got an apartment upstairs. Who's outside selling drugs? Who catching the case? Who in the shootout? Where they at? Inside with a piece of paper that says, Mr. Abla, licensed to sell, smoke shop items or whatever the hell his store is named. But what about us? What about our sons? Nehemiah didn't go for that, man. The Feast of Tabernacles is our opportunity to spend time away from these other nations. Go ahead, Art.
Tell me how you say that, because they don't care if they sell drugs right inside of the store while they're behind the glass, just because they know if you buy from them, you'll have to buy the blunts from the store.
No, they selling the dope. You thought it was just the blunts? Oh no. They could give a damn about them blunts, Art. Huh? Right, they the plug. They the plug. They the one that the cats out. First of all, the cats outside wouldn't be able to sell the drugs, and they didn't want them there. You understand? Like they listen. They are draining the soul out of the Lord's chosen people, man. Like Nehemiah said. That's why this is what we reading. This Feast of Tabernacles, Nehemiah was fighting it. Go ahead, Virginia. What's up? Yep.
That all the people that we hung out with that we thought were black, come to find out, they were the same ones going back and forth to the same neighborhoods that we just left, and they were in the suburbs with 2 and 3 houses and townhouses, and they weren't black at all, and they sold all of the drugs.
See that?
Everything. Pills, weed, ecstasy, everything.
You see that?
Pretending to be black.
At one time, they came out in the news and said that the state of Israel was the #1 exporter of ecstasy, which is just like them. They ain't gonna sell the bagged up weed or the coke, but they're gonna pop out 1 billion pills and ship it across the ocean and have everybody high on them damn pills. You understand? Like our nation coming back. If you want black people to come back from the hell they in, you gonna have to separate from other nations. You ain't gonna be able to do both. You will never be able to do both. And everyone has tried to do both, has failed at trying to do both. And they failed at it because we reading a book. How many pages is in the Bible? The average is hard to say because of different prints. But there's thousands of pages. Thing in my pocket. Thousands of pages about us having to deal with heathens when it came time to fixing us. When you're ready to fix us, know that you got to come up against heathens, man. Know that you got to push their religions back. And that's why the Feast of Tabernacles is so righteous and so beautiful if you can get away. If you can get away, man. Go ahead, Op.
Oh, God. What evil thing is this that you do and profane the Sabbath day? Did not your fathers thus, and did not our God bring all this evil upon us?
Read it again.
Oh, God. Did not your fathers thus?
Did not your fathers thus? What does he mean when he say did not your fathers thus? Somebody break that down for me. What is he talking about when he say did not your fathers thus? Go ahead, Op.
It's like, if I may, son, is he saying like didn't your forefathers, didn't they trespass against the Lord?
He going deep with it. You right. He ain't just talking about how they praying on you and how you out there breaking the Sabbath service, but you join them heathens, man. Remember it said that the what was they? The Zidonians? The men of Tyre. Tyre is in Lower Syria, for those of you that may not know. The country so-called Syria today, the very lower part of Syria is Tyre. It's really our land. But the Syrians ruled that land. Okay? They ruled it back then for years. We had tons of battles with them in Tyre and Zidon. Elijah had to battle them like crazy. Remember when what's his name? I forget the cat's name that the leprosy came on? Gehazi. You understand? That was because Elisha was up there battling them damn Arabs. Remember the cat that came down and had the leprosy and he didn't want to wash in the pool of Jerusalem? That was because we was in bitter conflict with them up there. They hated us and we hated them. And so when he came down to get healed, Elisha just sent out somebody and said, yo, just tell him to go tell him to go get in the Jordan River. He disrespected the heathen. So, man, let's tell him to go wash in the river. And he did it on purpose because he knew the cat came down with pomp and circumstance and had all his entourage with him and thought he was somebody big and was going to impress Elisha. You understand? And Elisha said, man, go ahead, man. Go ahead, heathen. Let's go on and wash in Jerusalem. And he only did it because the Lord told him to do it. So go wash 7 times in Jerusalem. And the cat was so proud. Here he is with leprosy. And meanwhile, you coming to me to get healed. But meanwhile, when I say go wash in the Jordan River, you like, oh, why I got to do that? He was like, why? He got the leprosy. He's like, why I got to do that? He said, certainly the rivers in Syria is much better. He said, and on top of it, why he ain't come out and see me? Certainly he would have come out and I would have gave him a nice gift. He wanted to show his ass to him. Excuse my Salagi, y'all. Salagi. You know, we get a little excited over this thing here. This is our culture, man. It's our history. This belongs to us, huh? You understand? I'm so sick of them claiming us on our holy day. It's ours. There ain't no white people in the Bible. Nowhere. Okay? This ours. So he was thinking, oh, you know, he was going to get healed, and then he was going to give Elisha a big gift where, you know, everybody be like, oh, man, the Prince of Syria, man, came down, boy. Woo, that cat was bad. Like we do when we see Donald Trump or one of these rich heathens in their Rolls Royces, and you see them on TV, and they partying in South Beach or they off in Europe. They showed Martin, even though he a brother, they showed him in Dubai, him and his rib, they in Dubai. You understand? Like this the hot spot. You understand? Meanwhile, when you go in Dubai, they got whole parties of men in there partying and got little boys dancing like sex slaves. And them little boys, there's tons of homosexuality going over there, child molestation and all that. But they'll act like, you know, the heathen, being among the heathen is so great. It's so wonderful. Please, man. Please, damn that. Go ahead, Up. Yes, exactly. He thought he was going to roll out everything wonderful and be all, you know, be the big spotlight. He said, man, later for him. And then he left. He was so proud he left. He was heading back. And his servant looked at him like, yo, man. He was like, yo, listen, man. If he had told you to give, you know, a whole bunch of sheep or this and that, you'd have gave it to him. He said, just go wash in the Jordan. Why wouldn't you just do it? And he had to think about it to himself, like, damn, he could have asked me anything he wanted, and I'd have had to give it up because I wanted to be healed. But I was so damn proud that the fact that he just told me go wash in the River Jordan, I was so proud I wouldn't even go. He realized it when his servant came and told him. And then he went back because it was the Lord humbling him. Why? Why was the Lord humbling? Because we've been fighting with them Syrians in the top of our nation. And the Lord sends the prophets don't side with the heathens. They don't do that. They always coming up against the heathen. Elisha didn't even want to heal him. The Lord told him to go do it. So he went ahead and did it. But when he went and did it, he disrespected him. He let him know, I don't give a damn how powerful you are. I don't give a damn how much wealth you are. What the hell do I care? You understand? You coming up against my nation. Damn you, man. Go wash in the river. Get the hell up out of here, man. Meanwhile, this cat rich and powerful and all that. And a lot of our people, we starstruck with these heathens, man. You see these heathens in their power and their authority, and you act like they somebody special. The Lord look at the filth. He said, what he said? That the whole of them, paraphrasing, are as a drop in a bucket, right or wrong. So what the hell and listen, and if you building a nation, damn it, you can't build a nation and you love the oppressor. Explain that to me. How you gonna build a nation and you love the people that's oppressing you? You impressed by them. You think that they special. You think that their money and their wealth makes them better than you, but meanwhile, you gonna fix your nation? Nigga, please. You jockeying for a seat to be the best slave you could be. Not these prophets, though. These prophets ain't get down like that. Nehemiah ain't get down like that. Elisha didn't get down like that. And show you how Gehazi, once again, being old slime ball, saw all that wealth. Ooh, look at that money Gehazi got. All them garments and that gold and all them horses and mules. Look at all that. I can't believe Elisha turning that shit down. What is wrong with him? Go ahead, Katham. Oh, brother, listen. I ever see his face on the screen, I turn it off immediately. He really coming out now with his whole Arab spirit. He letting it out now. And brother, it's like vomit to me. It's like vomit to me that this heathen get to be glorified above us when he's glorified based on our music. Listen, I don't know if y'all ever saw this tape, but this is what did it for me. I'm scrolling through and I saw a tape where he was coming out of a hotel with his bodyguards. Y'all ever seen that tape? Listen, this tape here, man, broke my heart. He's coming out of a hotel, right? Posh ass hotel. He got his bodyguards with him, right? And this Jake look all halfway shriveled up. He run up to him and he starts just rapping. Something. And he auditioning for this heathen while the heathen is slowly walking to his car. He in front of the heathen, backing up, just trying to, and so the move and trying to get this heathen to like this music he's saying. And I'm saying to myself, man, that's a prince of the Most High, man. That's what that scripture means when he said, I see princes walking on the ground, you understand, and servants riding on horses. This cat is rich and powerful because of our music, you understand? And I don't know, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but I ain't heard the words come out his mouth where he say, listen, y'all, I'm nothing. I'm only something because black people got the greatest music in the world. When am I going to hear that come out of his mouth? And why isn't it required by us? That's why I give props to everybody that stood up against Eminem. There's a whole lot of people that didn't like that cat. You understand? And black people brought him in. You understand? Like, because once again, we love a heathen better than us. Let a white boy be able to rap. Oh my God. They be throwing their drawers up on the stage to that piece of garbage. You understand? That's our problem. We don't understand what it takes to fix us. Nehemiah understood what it took. Elijah did. Gehazi went back. There's always an old sellout. There's always somebody ain't strong enough to handle the business. That's what happened when we was coming out of slavery in Egypt. Remember we was coming out in slavery in Egypt when we got out there in the wilderness and we went to war, and that one cat, what did he do? He went and hid them Babylonian garments under his tent along with the gold and the silver. Now, if you read that off the clip, you'll be saying to yourself, wait a minute, man. Joshua a little over the top over here. Why Joshua killed a man, burned his house down, kill his family, kill his cattle, burnt the tent to the ground, dug a hole, and threw it all in the hole and covered it up? You'd be like, well, goddamn, nigga, you just put a little gold on this. Gold gets spent all kind of ways. What you salty about? But he understood. He understood that Saul lost the kingdom over. Right or wrong. Samuel told him, don't touch that stuff when you kill this bastard. He ain't going to get credit for building the Lord's nation. Destroy all his cattle, everything he got, including him. Saul didn't do it. The Lord got rid of him. You got to have integrity, man. You got to have integrity not to sell out, you understand, when the time comes for you to stand with the Lord. You got to have enough integrity not to sell your soul out, man. You understand? Not to give your soul up. And that's also why Nehemiah also threw out all the mixed kids. All the kids that had heathen mothers, he threw them the hell out the nation. He got rid of all, ripped their hair off. If they would speak in another language other than Hebrew, he went up in there and ripped the broad's hair off. If she was teaching them Hebrew boys, if she was teaching teaching them Hebrew boys another language, oh, he was done. He went up in there, man, and ripped the broad head off, made her bald and bleed. Cut her damn nails up, man, dogged her. He dogged her out, made her look like a crackhead. Oh, you gonna teach black boys how to speak Chinese? Today, if a black woman was on YouTube right now teaching little black boys how to speak Chinese, she would be praised. She'd probably make a ton of money, probably be a ton of hits. Be like, oh my God, she could speak Chinese. She teaching black boys Chinese. Ain't it wonderful? They could be international. They could be interpreters. They could be this, they could be that. They could be dead by the hand of the Most High power, because he don't give a damn about that. Nehemiah didn't give a damn about it. He went and ripped the broad's hair off. It's in the book. I ain't going to it because we ain't got enough time. Y'all get me started. You know what's going to happen. We'll be here all night. Y'all be charging me tomorrow. Like that Gen.YAHANNA don't never shut up. Nigga went on all night. You had to get the kids home, man. Y'all be in there calling General Muhammad, man. See, the fight started because Gen.YAHANNA had him in there. That's why we got in an argument on the way home. You know what I mean? Everybody was tired and drunk. I'm going to get it in. We're going to get a little bit more and keep pushing. Like, this is what we supposed to know. This is why we go out in them woods. We got to go out in them woods and say, what's good for us? What's our identity? Not go out in them woods and say, y'all got to stop blaming the white man. And I don't care what a nation is, as long as I make money off of them. Oh, Uncle Tom's slime ball leaders. That's why it's so easy to make our sons faggots. It's easy to make them that way. Why? Because you ain't got no boundaries. You ain't got no rules to the game. You ain't got no set of values that you got to stand with that can't be crossed. You understand? And how you get them back? By having the rules and laws and statutes the Lord gave us. That's how we get it back. And to be insolent about allowing heathens to have our identity and culture, man. Give me a little bit more. I got a couple more. I'm going to let y'all go. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Did not your fathers thus, and did not our God bring all this evil upon us?
This evil came on us for breaking the Lord's law. And what caused us to break the Lord's law? Loving the heathen. That's what they was doing here. They making money off of the heathen. They making deals with the heathen. Here's how it's working. The heathens bringing all their goods to Jerusalem on the Sabbath. They bringing it in the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath. And these Uncle Tom niggas is taking the goods and reselling it to black people, to Latino people, to Native Indian people, and making a ton of money. What that sound like to you? Sound like weed? Sound like we ain't the ones making the weed. Well, we might have a little weed garden or a little weed operation for about a week, so the neighbors all smell it and get you locked the hell up. But you ain't got no weed to smoke out all of the black community, the whole goddamn community. And Baltimore, oh my God. Baltimore is smoked out. I don't know how a nigga could smoke any more than he's smoking in Baltimore. I think they got the patent on getting high in B-more. I mean, B-more is smoking like they was 15 years ago. I come back 15 years later, B-more, they getting high like, yeah, General Yohanna, fuck that shit you thought. We toking just like we was toking 15 years ago. I could not believe it when I got out there. So, Paul, y'all, it ain't nothing changed. You done pull all the warriors out of the city and everybody else smoked out. I pray the Lord bring more brothers up out of there, man. You know, man, and sisters and shit. You know, man. Like, them bones gonna live, though, because we understand demons. And them demons gonna be put down. Come on, give me a little bit more.
Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel.
You see what he said? You bring more wrath upon Israel. What we do on these corners is to stop the wrath of the Lord on Israel. When you go down there to Lexington Market and see all our people smoked out, that's the wrath of the Lord. Does not the scripture say they sit at the head of the streets as a bull in the net? Does not the scripture say, thou shalt not let a witch live? When witches is prospering in this kingdom. And now you done brought the Afghanistanians in. Now, forget about it. More heroin and dope. And listen, they ain't setting them up in the suburbs. Ain't no smoke shop. We was up in the suburbs the other night, wasn't we? We riding through the suburbs. Did y'all see a smoke shop up there? Not one. I saw manicured lawns. So a brand new Mercedes is up there. Them houses look like Norman Rockwell posters. Them goddamn houses up there in them, where we was at. But I ain't see no smoke shops up there. But in every ghetto across America, they sitting up there got smoke shops, and we supposed to be acting like it's in America. There's equality. There's equality. Everybody have an opportunity to get. I mean, them niggas make me sick. They make me sick because they can't. We reading it. We reading it in front of their eyes. And let me tell you something. That's why what we doing is spiritual, because it's going to force them into these scriptures. They arguing about the whole, are we Jews? Are we not? Kanye West coming out with it. That's all the demonic fight going on in the fourth dimension. What's going on right now in the fourth dimension is those spirits of Satan fighting against the angels of the Lord. And the spirit of Satan is trying to keep everybody in the mindset of all those evil things we've been taught, Christianity, Islam, all those lies. But the spirit of the Lord is battling it and causing it to break out in other ways. That's why Kanye West spilt that out the way he did. Then he came back and retracted it, right? Came back and said, that ain't what he really meant. This is exactly what he meant. Because it's what the Lord wanted him to say. And that's why it came out. And it should have came out. And it was proof that you cannot come out with it without them working against you. You can come out and say damn near anything. What's that singer that got up on the stage and said he want to have sex with your, or urinate on your children, or sex with your children? What's that old black singer?
Lil Nas X.
Is that's his name? Right, a horrible human being. Got up on stage before the world and said he wanted to have sex with your children. Give me the quote right. Get me the right. What was it? He said something like he wanted to have sex with your children or urinate on your children. It was some old horrible, horrible thing that he said. And guess what? Not an ounce of backlash. Nothing. Nothing. Not a reprimand, not a canceled show. Nothing. Nothing. Kanye West say he a Jew. Shut him down on all social media. Nick Cannon say he's a Jew. Shut him down on all social media. Brother, our identity is the most precious thing we could hold on to. Our culture is precious. Nehemiah knew it, and when we came out of that Persian Empire, he fought like hell. You go back and read this chapter, that Feast of Tabernacles, he fought like hell to make sure we had our culture, man. And I'm going to fight like hell, too. I ain't never compromising, brother. You can forget that. If I was going to compromise, it happened years ago. I don't give a damn. I ain't never compromised. Listen, and the Lord going to prove us outright. Them heathens ain't going to outlast the children of Israel, man. Ain't no way they're going to be able to do that. You got the quote? Who got it? Go ahead, Doc.
It's like Lil Nas X said, F your kid.
Damn. On stage. Go ahead. Give me more.
Kawakar said, sir, he says, meanwhile, fellow allegedly gay rapper Kid Cudi recently penned a tribute to Nas X for being unapologetically gay.
So F your kids means to be unapologetically gay. Now you know why the Lord said to put them to death. And not now. Don't nobody go do it. But in that day, we're going to, just like Nehemiah did, we're going to clean this nation up. All right? We're going to clean this nation up. And it's going to be beautiful, man. Like our people are going to be, you think we amazing now. And we damn amazing right now. We're pretty damn amazing as a people. But could you imagine in our righteousness and power without Esau over us? We're going to be something to behold before the Lord. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. In the future, we're going to be so wise, so right with the Lord, so serious about our beliefs that they not even going to be able to, they ain't going to know how to even approach us as a people. Like you see how them wealthy, rich white people are, people don't even approach them because they think they're so powerful and wise and intelligent. It's going to be 10 times more when it comes to us. They ain't even going to want to approach you, man. The Lord said he's going to make the daughters of Zion like palaces. You know what that means? You ever see a palace, a real palace in person? A real palace in person, brother, is something to behold. Wait till we all go over to England, brother. Wait a minute. Of course you've seen a palace before. Haven't you, I'm talking to the brother behind you. No, that's not a palace. That's not a palace. I mean, they got a few palaces in the States, but wait till we go overseas. You're going to see some palaces, brother, from 10 miles out and be like, oh, my God, the hell is that? Well, that's how he going to make us look. Because we're going to take everything from these heathens they took from us. We're going to take every bit of it back. Let's go. What verse you at?
Verse 17, it's like verse 18, sir.
Go ahead.
Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut.
You hear what he did? Do you want to serve the Lord and deliver the children of Israel? You're going to shut down niggas' businesses. You're going to shut down Black and Latino people's businesses that are against the Lord. The crab shack got to go. The lobster fest is over. The pork rinds is on hold forever. You're going to shut down their businesses. Like that, Black people, you playing with being successful as a people. what we got to do for black people? Well, we got to invest in businesses and get cryptocurrency and get this and that and do all this. Please. Please. You ain't going to do nothing but lie to yourself until the landlord knock on the door and say you 3 months behind in the rent. That's what you're going to do. Because you didn't do what the Lord said to do. You know what I mean? He did it. Go ahead.
And charged that they should not be open till after the Sabbath.
Man, that was a hell of a decree. All those black people and Latino people who was making money in that gate lost their money. Businesses shut down. Commerce and trade got destroyed. Go ahead.
And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
You want to fix black people? Go get an army. You need an army. Go ahead, Q.
They try to charge us, the fake ones try to charge us for doing good on the Sabbath. You understand? We out teaching. We ain't supposed to get out of bed and do nothing. Meanwhile, the general population is out selling, buying and selling, but they ain't telling them that they need to come in here and do this work.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Like they could care less about that, but they want you to get the hell up off that corner. You messing up all the business. Nehemiah had an army. He said he took them soldiers down there and said, man, shut the goddamn gate. Shut it before the sun go down. And put a watch on that gate. Make sure that no heathen. Read it. He's going to tell it to you himself.
Verse 20. So the merchants and sellers of all kinds were of where lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
They was mad as hell. Because they shut down all of their wealth and commerce coming in there. And that's exactly what's supposed to happen among us. Niggas talking about we need to work together with the other nations so we can have better business and commerce and better, buying and selling. Negro, please. America only buys China's garbage because China buying everything America's selling them. They ain't buying Chinese. Everything come out of Chinese break in 3 days. So ain't nobody buying Chinese goods because they like them. We buying Chinese goods because China buying what they got. But in this case, like it always is with us, the heathens are making money off of us, and we ain't getting nothing off of them heathens. How the hell the Arabs gonna have chicken joints in the ghetto and there's no fun going to black people for they suffering? Your chicken joint open 3 o'clock in the morning, our sons and daughters on drugs from your drugs, and meanwhile our sons and daughters falling down in the street and you making money off of us. Don't nobody else do that but us, because we don't have our identity and we got stupid black leaders. That's the real reality. I'm sorry. Don't never come to my class unless you want it real and raw, because my class nobody likes me. I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody likes me. Nobody likes my class. Don't nobody like me. They want me to be nicer. This is me nicer. Don't let me get mean on it. This is the nice side. Damn that, you know what I mean? Like the truth is, we gotta strengthen us and not them. Give me some more, a little bit more.
Verse 21. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
You hear that? Nehemiah was a badass dude. Go ahead, Q.
And when you think about the Christian church and when they say they want to testify, you understand, they want to testify about God, gaining this godliness. You understand how they got something from the white man. You understand, praise Jesus, hallelujah, all of that. Meanwhile, you understand,
Nehemiah wasn't going for that. Like, that's how you got to understand church. You got to understand that church is about including everybody. We bring in the LGBTQ. God loved them. We bring in the lesbians and all this. God loved them. We bring in this and bring in that. God loved them. When really you bringing them in and including them because you want to be in business with them. This is about making money and making people happy. That ain't about serving God. It's not how you serve God. You understand what I'm saying? That's what that's about. Not this. He told them, look, why are you hanging about? Why are you pulling up constantly like you going to sell something up in here? He treated them like a rival drug dealer. You pull up here again, man, I'm going to fall on you. I'm going to deal with you. He ran them heathens off from the children of Israel. Don't tell me what it takes to be a real black leader. A real black leader will be doing that. You don't see, when the last time you seen a congressman come out and say, listen, these so-and-so people making a ton of money off of black and Latino people, they got to stop. You ain't never heard it. You ain't never gonna hear it. You understand? What you will hear is about the money they gave him so he don't say it. But a real black leader will tell you straight up and down, man, I don't care what it looks like to you. God got the plan on how we get straightened out. And you get straightened out by rejecting these heathens, man, and taking on your identity. There's going to be a day in this country where millions of blacks and Latinos and Native Indians are going to dwell in booths. And when that day comes, ain't no heathens going to be invited. Ain't going to be like the Martin Luther King March. Negroes going to be like, well, listen, white people want to help. Why don't we just let them help? No, they can't help. Listen, they want to donate and give money and all that. Tell them leave the money at the gate. Put it in the bag, leave it at the gate. They ain't going to be a part in what we do to fix our nation. They can't never be. Because if you allow them to do that, then you destroy the integrity of the Lord's chosen people, man. You destroy the integrity of them. Okay? Is there more on that? Go ahead. And then Q, get me the scripture where he ripped their head off. I got to give it to you now. I got to give it to you, man. Like Nehemiah laid out a blueprint that was amazing. Come on.
From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
They didn't come no more on the Sabbath. They came other days to try to do business, but they didn't come on that Sabbath day no more. He shut that down. Go ahead. And matter of fact, Mashak, get me the scripture in Nehemiah where Nehemiah came up against the black leaders who was running up the mortgages and was shaking down black people. I want to say 6th or 7th chapter around the 1st or 2nd verse. I could be wrong. Somebody find that also. I'm telling you, Nehemiah laid out exactly what you got to do to fix a nation. Go ahead, tell them where you at.
Oh, God, sir. Verse 25. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them and plucked off their hair.
There it is. You found it. But go up above it. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the part where he did it to the ones on the wall, or did you jump to another part?
So this is verse 25 of the same chapter. Sir.
So you jump down to 25, go up to like 23, where he said they would break it down to why he was doing it.
Oh, God, sir. Verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod.
And let me explain something to you. When you're reading about this, remember they just came out of the Persian captivity. Everything you reading about during this Feast of Tabernacles, when they came out of that land of Persia, is exactly what's going on with us right now. Everything he encountered trying to fix this nation is what we encountering every day. It's what we're talking about every day. It's what the politicians is arguing about every day. Nehemiah knew how to fix it. Read it from there. Go ahead.
God, sir. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab, and their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language.
Now that's always beloved by us. We so glad that our children could speak another language. We so praise the heathen. I don't know if any of y'all saw this episode. There was an episode of the Bernie Mac show. You saw it. Woo! Listen, that's why I ain't got too much TVs now. That goddamn Bernie Mac show, brother. Bernie Mac did a show where he brought his family over to an Oriental family's house. And the Oriental child was full of linguisticness and answering questions, and his child didn't, and he was like a sucker. He was damn near ready to turn on the children he had because they wasn't as good as these so-called heathens' children. Brother, that is our problem. And brother, it's similar to what Nehemiah is going through right here. Read that part out again. Like, this is our life. You think it's cool to be interracial. It's hell for brothers and sisters that's part of interracial, who born with a heathen parent. It's hell for them growing up. I grew up with a ton of them, man. They caught hell growing up. All confused, don't know which culture to get into, trying to figure out some kind of way in their mind to say, it's all right for me to love both cultures. They be having all kind of identity problems. And furthermore, the Lord said not to do it. Now that we in this state coming out like we did coming out of Egypt, we got brothers and sisters that got, dual parents. Long as their father is a brother, Black, Latino, Native Indian, they are Israelite, and it's all good. But damn, if they come out there to that speaking and hear us speak and find out their daddy is a cracker, problem. You can't come up in here. You can kiss a boot or something, but that's not all you can do. It was a jam up. That's why we shouldn't be doing it. Go ahead, Ak.
And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language.
That's us. Go ahead.
But according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair.
He beat the hell out of them and ripped off their hair. Now, why did he do that? Somebody got to break that down to me. Why did he do that? Because they was speaking another language? It ain't against the law to speak Chinese. Right or wrong? That ain't against the law. Ain't nowhere in the law that say you can't speak Chinese. Am I wrong? So why the hell Nehemiah was so goddamn violent to them? Go ahead, Q.
He knew what it came with Deuteronomy 7:3 through 6 or what have you about how their marriages was pulling us down or what have you, and you was going to end up serving their God, speaking their language, the whole and selling their wares, their drugs or what have you to the children of Israel. So Nehemiah, he in Nehemiah 8, he got back out on the street and went with the book of the law, opened the book of the law before the people, like I saw you do. With the Valley of Dry Bones out there. You know they understood and saying in Nehemiah 8:8 or so. You understand? You broke it down and they understood what was going on.
Most High correct. But now I got a scholarly question. So according to General Kabbalah Moth, he said if you allow them heathens to be amongst us and have them languages amongst us, it's going to teach our children to go and join them other nation. What does that say about us? What does that say about our culture? Go ahead, Q.
We're not pushing it hard enough.
No, what does it say about our culture as a whole? What does it say about being a Hebrew Israelite as a whole? What I'm saying. Go ahead. No, not about us individual, but what does it say about the Hebrew Israelites? Did you want to take it? You had your hand up. You want to pass it? Pass it? Go ahead, Kadam, General. Yes, go ahead.
Would it be that we would look at their culture better than our culture?
Give me some more. Walk me down the road. Take me right there. What should be in your mind when you read that? What should be in your mind when you read that? David understood that. What should be in your mind? I'm giving it to you damn near now. Go ahead.
I might be wrong, but we should protect and fight for our culture.
Brother, that it is like gold. That when you find out this truth and find out who you are, brother, you supposed to be like a greedy man. What? What do you want? What? Get away from the bread. What? Like your mama used to be in the house. What? What do you want? You had dinner's at 6, boy. Get back. You supposed to be like that. Like this truth is supposed to be that important. Like it's not a joke. Without it, you're gonna be a slave. Your children gonna be slaves. Your culture gonna be wiped the hell out. And you're gonna be decimated as a nation. And it is why you should be completely rebellious against their culture. You understand? Like Nehemiah was violent and beating up broads. I mean, he was violent. And that's some violent shit. Rip a bitch hair off. God damn. I heard of a nigga beating a broad. but rip the bitch hair off? You was a monster. You know what I'm saying? You a monster. He out there. This the Bible we read. You a goddamn monster. So lock it, fam. It's still charging though. If it matters, go ahead. You can put it back up there. Go ahead, Q.
So I got when you finish the next part.
No, not yet. I got a little bit more. I'm gonna walk it down. What other part did I have? I have one more part I think in there. I'm gonna see. I might bring one last part and then we done. We can get up out of here. Y'all ain't getting me charged. Go ahead. I'll hold it. I'm gonna let you get it. All right. Finish up with this. Like, well, let me just cap it off with this. Our culture is everything. This is who makes us who we are. You understand what I'm saying? We better hold on to it. We better hold on to it. We better gather it. We better make it special. Right. Keeping these feasts and these high holy days. This is what Nehemiah had to do. When we was out in that woods, you understand, that's what we had to think about. How we going to help the brothers? How we going to wake them up? What all the heathens was doing to us. Look at how they doping everybody up down there on Lexington Market. Look at how they building skyscrapers and new condos all over Baltimore while our people die. And in every city across this country. You understand? Look how the brothers are struggling but holding the fight up. What can we do for them? What can we do to see this nation come up? Nehemiah had an army, man. You know what I mean? He got to the business of the Most High. And brother, that's what the business of the Most High is how do you manage and keep these heathens out from among the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel so that they can prosper? You understand? Don't tell me about, GEN.YAHANNA, you got to invest in Bitcoin. I don't give a F about no goddamn Bitcoin until my people got free. What the hell do I care about that for? I mean, ain't nothing wrong with Bitcoin for all you Bitcoin lovers. You know what I'm saying? Go on and do your Bitcoin. For me, I could care less about it because I know that we are in captivity. You understand? There ain't nothing wrong with investing in all that. You understand? Y'all go on and get counsel when you get broke, but we're gonna keep it pushing. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you pay your tithes before you invest. I don't want to hear you ain't paid your tithes and you done lost all your money in Bitcoin. Some white man in Manhattan sitting back having a good time off your Bitcoin money. Meanwhile, I ain't got no tithes to pay nobody nothing. I better not hear that. I'm gonna be mad as hell. Come on, fam. We got a nation to build. Was that it on that? Come on, finish it for me. Let Kubal back in.
And made them swear by God.
Made them swear by the Most High. Go ahead.
Say, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons.
That's how serious our culture is. That's how serious our identity is, man. Our culture is coming up out of the fourth dimension. You ain't create all this. Look at these garments and all this. Y'all ain't create this. The Lord put it in to bring it back because you repented to the Most High. And that's precious to us, man. It should be. It should be very precious to us because without it, they will turn our sons and daughters away. Come on with it. Go ahead.
Or for yourselves.
Come on.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
He had all them wives that was heathen and dragged him off the game. Come on.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Did them heathens in their way of life cause him to sin? Go ahead, Q. What you want to pull? Was that it? That was it out?
Yes, sir.
Come on, pull it.
Nehemiah 2 and 11. So I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. And I arose in the night, and some few men with me. Neither told I any man what my power had put in my heart to do at Jerusalem.
You see how wise he was? Nehemiah was wise. He went up there and looked at Jerusalem and looked at the city. That's how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to look at this city and see how your people are suffering and destroyed. And you're supposed to not tell these heathens, man, except that the Lord is going to destroy them. Don't give away your plans. Some of you, as soon as you see a white man, you read, Mr. Goldstein, I was thinking about opening up a juice bar. Yeah, I was thinking about putting it over here and doing this and doing that. You come to work the next day, a juice bar sitting right where you thought you was going to put yours at. No, man. No. Nehemiah said he came, checked out the city. He didn't tell them heathens nothing, man. And let me tell you something else, too. Let me tell you something. You got to be a real man that want to be free to serve the Lord. You know why? Because everything coming out the walls is telling you you can't do it without some way dealing with these heathens. Like, black people don't believe you could do anything without having to deal with this white man and deal with these heathens. Even if they read it and they see it, it'd be real hard for them to say, could I just stand up tomorrow and just be who the hell I am and not give a damn about them, and I'm going to still do the work of the Lord and build something and do something great before the Lord, and I ain't going to never have to compromise. In most cases, we don't believe we could do it, but you better know that you could do it. You better know that the Lord is with you. You better know that you're going to stumble on that street corner, and he going to do whatever it takes for you to be successful at it. You got to be willing to be successful at it with nobody's help. Damn everything. If everything go down, you got to be willing to be able to ready and go ahead and do that. And let me tell you something. When we started out doing this, brother, at 1 West 125th Street, we ain't have nobody. We was by ourselves. We went and built, and so did y'all in these cities as well. Like, that's what make good leaders. Nehemiah ain't think to himself, I'm coming to Jerusalem, oh my God. It's just me and a couple brothers, and how we gonna fix this, man? Maybe we make a deal with them. Maybe we work something out with them and see if we can rent a little land with them. Nehemiah ain't think like that, man. He's like, man, we're gonna go spy this thing out. We ain't gonna tell them nothing. We coming to take this city from them and make it our city. Go ahead, read it, Q.
Neither was there any beast with me, save the beast that I rode upon.
I didn't bring no beast with me or nothing, except the one he was riding on. Go ahead. He came low key. Go ahead.
And I went out by night by the gate of the valley, even before the dragon well, and to the dung port, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem.
He went and looked at them walls. He went to look at the state of the city. He snuck out there to look at the state of the city and see how bad it was. These was bad dudes we reading about. We reading about them thousands of years later because they had a real free mind, a real open mind to serve the Most High, and they didn't care what it took, and they were fearless in their work to do it. Go ahead.
Which were broken down.
Which were what?
Which were broken down.
He saw how destroyed it is, and it's the same today. Instead of a wall, it's crack, pills. You know, I don't even know all the new names. You know what I mean? Syrup and all this other stuff. You understand? Like, that's what you seeing in these cities, and you got to spy it out. You got to spy it out. You understand? Back of your mind should be, we getting homeless shelters, man. You know, I don't know where it's coming from, but we getting them. You understand? Back of your mind, we're going to set up our own rehab center. We got to get a grant, and we got to work all that out. Some nigga got a building somewhere he trying to hold on to make a church or some other stupid nonsense. We going to see him and find him, and we going to use his building. You understand? Like, you got to have that mindset to pioneer the work of the Most High. You understand? You got to go at that thing like that. It's precious. You know what I mean? When you was in the street, man, when we was in the street, brother, getting the bag, shit, you didn't care who you had to take out or do what. You didn't care. What did it take to get it done? It was going to get done. Same in this truth. Of course, you ain't going to break no laws. You're going to do it righteously, but you're going to get it done. You understand? Because it's that important to us. That's why Nehemiah was so violent and ripping them broads' hair off, because he knew how important that thing was. Our identity in serving Christ is everything for us. Because otherwise, we might as well just go on and be slaves for the next 400, 800, or whatever it is. Do you know right now, big shout out to our Latino tribe. They just surpassed the Judite and Benjamite tribes. They are the #1 ethnic group in America now. They done outdid the other tribes. You understand? Like, that's how you get down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they getting down. We got to all get down. Every tribe got to get down and push to bring this nation back to where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Give me some more. Get you out of here real quick.
And the gates thereof were consumed with fire.
And they were burnt down. Gates was burnt down. And I've been over there to Jerusalem in Israel, and I saw that old city. That was a beautiful city, man. Jerusalem, the city of David, sat up on a hill, man, and the city is cascading down off of the mountain. It's like cascading down. Beautiful city, man. Sitting in the middle of like a tannish stone. Beautiful. The pictures don't do it no real justice. If you real far off and you looking at that city, you could see how that city was like, you know, like the bomb back in the day. You can see that was the happening zone. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, everything on the outside wasn't like being in that city. And walking through them streets, the streets were real narrow. Walking through them streets, man, and seeing the whole old city. I mean, it's filled with heathens now. You go over there now. Every religion you ever heard of on earth is in Jerusalem right now. Believe it or not. I don't even care if it got nothing to do with the Bible or anything. Every religion got a temple over there in Jerusalem. Crazy religions you never even heard of that has got temples over there in Jerusalem. They all up in that joint. Everybody done bought them, got them a little corner or little stone or a little building. And the reason they all got it is the same reason. If you say you got a temple in Jerusalem, you can get people to give you money from all over the world because they think that's the Holy Land. It is the Holy Land. And they know it's the Holy Land. So every heathen in religion, because Jerusalem ain't cleansed, is got their little pocket, their little money maker. You go down there, man, they got the Church of the Annunciation, where supposedly they had the crypt of Jesus. And they got like a little crypt, and they got oil in the crypt, and they got a little fire burning and all that. And you come down there, get them niggas some money. They send you back, send your silly ass back to wherever the hell you came from. They got one place in there where they got some old big old stone. This was the stone that, you know, that they rolled back or some bullshit they run down on. And you see the people in there coming from all over the world. They wiping and rubbing the stone and kissing the stone. And oh my God, and Jesus. The priest sitting up in there, please donate, please donate. Niggas sitting back, probably got roses in the backyard. With so much heathen coming through there. Oh, every religion make them a little piece of our land. It's a big money-making hustle with all that tourism and all that going through there, man. You know what I mean? But it's going to get cleansed out. But it's a beautiful city, man. It's an amazing, amazing city. It's, you know, it's foul as hell because of the heathen now. But I can see how it was the bomb. I can see how they was partying in there, jamming. And you could probably hear it because it's sitting high. So you can hear all the partying and everything that went on all around. You know what I'm saying? It was, forget about it, man. Like, we the greatest people on earth. Only because the Lord put our name on us. So everything we do and build and establish is the best in the planet. You understand? So Jerusalem gonna be just the same daggone way. That ain't even a question. Come on.
And the rulers knew not whither I went.
Come on.
Or what I did.
All right.
Neither had I as yet told it to the Jews.
He was wise. Go ahead.
Nor to the priests, nor to the nobles, nor to the rulers.
Let me give you one more part, if I could. Get me the part. I think I want to say it is the beginning of the 6th chapter or the 7th chapter, where they was going to build the wall, and the cat SHALAM. Is that it there? Give me that. This is the last one, y'all. No, y'all ready to throw a shoe at me. We're gonna get up out of here. Because let me tell you something. I gotta give you this part. Because this part, once again, all this is spiritual, man. This is spiritual. The Lord is bringing this nation back. He gonna do it anyway. Like the Kanye West is gonna bust it out their mouth anyway. Whether we ain't do nothing to make him, we pay him. We ain't extort him. We ain't strong arm. We ain't do none of that. The Lord did it. He trying to get some social media going. So-called Jew trying to block him. He come out, boom, busted out his mouth. All hell break loose. So-called Jew, they all over Clubhouse. You niggas will never be Jews. Them niggas having conniptions tonight over that bullshit, over that BS, man. That's the Lord doing that. The Lord creating the stir up. You understand? And he creating it because he want you to come up. He want you to wake up and come up out of this. So he creating the stir over and over and over again. But there's something to remember in that. One of the other main things that went on when Nehemiah went to fix this nation was something we all are familiar with. Uncle Tom niggas. Oh, y'all ain't know Uncle Tom Niggas was in the Bible. Yes, Uncle Tom Niggas is in the Bible. Let's read about it. Last point. Come on with it.
Verse 10.
And remember now, all this going on while he's sitting up there trying to get everybody, him and Ezra and Baruch and them, trying to get everybody to hold the Feast of Tabernacles. All this nonsense is going on. And I ain't even read the part where it said that, did I get the part where the black leaders was extorting them? And they said, we mortgaged our houses and all that. Mashak, look up mortgaged our houses in the book of Nehemiah. Read that for me, y'all. Give me two more, y'all, and I'm going to get up out of here. Go ahead.
When Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, heard of it.
A Jap. This is a Jap and an Arab. Go ahead.
It grieved them exceedingly.
It grieved them exceedingly when they heard what? Go above it.
Then I came to the governors beyond the river and gave them the king's letters. Now the king had sent captains of the army and horsemen with him.
Bear with me. Go ahead. So he came now. This time he came back. And now he got an army with him. And he got the right paperwork. That's you when you go open the beauty salon next to them heathens. Right. You go open the beauty salon, all they thinking about in the nail shop is, she's going to open a nail shop. We're going to lose money. That's what they thinking. Minute you go open in a restaurant or something, what you think they thinking? They welcoming you with one hand. In the back of their mind, they saying, how can we burn it down? How can we destroy it? You understand? They ain't working with you. These black leaders, dumb and stupid as they could be, like the heathens working with us. They ain't working with us. They working against us. We have a damn what you trying to do. That's why Nehemiah came in there the first time. He was real quiet about what he was doing. Came in there only with his own mule, like I'm a regular dude. I'm not the cat that served the king. I'm just a regular dude, and scoped out everything they was doing in there. So they had us in hell in there, just like they do in Baltimore, D.C., Philly, New York, Jersey, Cali, Texas, the whole damn place. Puerto Rico, everywhere. They still lights out in Puerto Rico over this nonsense, man. They having riots over there in Cuba. Not to mention Central and South America. Meanwhile, Dole sell more pineapples and salads than anybody on the goddamn planet. How the hell South America gonna be broke? Dole turning out 1 billion goddamn pineapples a year. How the hell South America gonna be broke? The heathens eating us alive, man. And dumb, stupid black leaders saying, see, you got to get into business with them. How you gonna be mad at them? Because they running business. They doing more than running business. They using the government to shut you down. The government helps shut you down, man. There's good money in destroyed black cities. Good money in it. You make a fortune if you got the inside track on these cities. Why you think they're able to build condos while crack being sold on the street and gun violence going on, man? You telling me, GEN.YAHANNA, I don't know what your problem is. You a dinosaur. You a dinosaur. You still holding on to 1960s. That's like some 1960s stuff. You still hating the white man like it's 1960s. I'm gonna be hating the white man like it's 1960s. I don't give a damn how many years it is. I mean, you still hating the white man. You understand? Go ahead, Q. It's a lot of you.
We're talking about Mississippi and Alabama, right? If a devil decides to steal the lunch money, the damn food stamps and welfare money in Baltimore, what can he possibly do to, you understand, destroy this?
What he's stealing that we don't know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, this place right here, they could be doing the same goddamn thing. Brett Favre ain't being spoken of at all about how he was robbing.
It's like it ain't even an issue. You right. It's like it's not even an issue. Brother, looks. But then you say something about the white man. It's like, see, that's that old shit. See, we don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? Brother, you better, like the scripture said, seek the old paths. You understand? Seek the old paths like you supposed to. Go ahead. Let me finish it up. 2 more points.
Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 3. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands
See that?
vineyards, and houses that we might buy corn.
Listen to me. Oh my God, this scripture is so important. Read that scripture again. Please read that scripture, man. Let me tell you something. Man. Put some money together, man. It's like cheap. It's like $50, man. Y'all come on out there with us to them woods. We're gonna read these scriptures around some fires, man, and really break it down, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the bomb. This Feast of Tabernacles is the blessing from the Most High. It's like having a vacation time. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the, you know what I mean? Like, go ahead, read that again. Y'all listen to this scripture. Listen to what the brothers and sisters said, and tell me this ain't you. Go ahead.
Oh God. Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 3. Some also there were there that said, we have mortgaged our lands.
This is our people sitting there said, we mortgaged our land. Don't we all got mortgages? The ones that own some property? Go ahead.
Vineyards. And houses.
Go ahead.
That we might buy corn.
For what reason?
Because of the dearth.
We might buy corn because of the dearth. The dearth is like the famine, like the poverty. And what is that dearth coming from? The heathens. The very heathens he came to that army with them papers. Because that, bear with me a second, that like those heathens is why we paying these high rents. It's why we got mortgages. It's why we can't, bad health. You understand? Like they said, man, we had to do all of that to eat, to get corn. So now what happens after you eat the corn? Break it down. Go ahead. No. Let's say it's the best corn in the world. You eat the corn, what happens? Let me see if you're thinking. Go ahead, Doc.
Everything is gone. You lost your mortgage, your home, and now you're hungry again.
As you eating your corn, they're taking your house. Like that's our state, right or wrong. Paying out, we got to pay rent, electric bill, gas bill, water bill, can't get ahead, trying to save a little money, struggling. You get a house, you got to pay that mortgage, struggling, but you got to eat. You got to have heat in the house. You got to survive. So what happens? You don't get ahead. That's what they do to us. You reading it right here. You reading what Uncle Tom's did to us, following them heathens right here. Go ahead, Q.
They said they was gonna blame us. If we read verse 1.
You gonna make me have a heart attack, Q. Q, you gonna make me have a coronary up in this joint, man. Read it, y'all. Salakia. Anybody gotta go? Y'all just go and just walk out on our hands. Because this is insane. I'm finna eat that food in about 2 seconds, regardless of whether we finish this class or not. Come on. 2 more points. We gonna end this class and get a drink, please. Read Q scripture. This is crazy.
Nehemiah chapter 5, verse 1. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren, the Jews.
Black Lives Matter. You know, Black Power. Red, black, and green. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. That's us. It was a great cry. We live in that right now. You telling me to go join some heathen? You telling me to stop blaming the very heathen that Nehemiah blamed when he had to deal with this? I ain't no dummy. I read the Bible. I'm not no knucklehead. I read these scriptures. And I understand what the hell I'm reading. And it is amazing. It's like there ain't no real reason for us as a people to be blind. There's no reason for us to be blind. The whole reason we blind on everything that's going on is because we ain't studied these scriptures and we ain't listened to the prophets of the Lord. You never thought a nigga could tell you anything. That's your problem. That's your problem right there. Because, brother, we reading our life right there during the Feast of Tabernacles. Like listen, it's 2,000 years since that took place. We in the Feast of Tabernacles, 2,000 years like Nehemiah, and guess what? We going through the exact same thing he went through. Come on, let me finish it, y'all. Y'all gonna throw something at me. Come on, finish this up. I know. Come on.
That said, we are sons and our daughters are many. Therefore, we take up corn for them that we may eat and live.
And they say they what? They're many. What? How's it look every time you go to a major city? We all piled up on one another. We many. That's why you need a dollar store. That's what they saying. That's the dollar store. We are many, and we have to buy corn. So we got to feed all these people. So we got to sell everything to get the money up to feed all these people. That's us. Go ahead.
Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses, that we might buy corn because of the dirt.
Okay, stop right there. Last scripture. Give me when the cat got angry when he came back. That's Shabalat cat. Last one. I promise. Ain't going to no more. Come on.
Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 5.
Listen to this good.
Then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner, the 5th time with an open letter in his hand, wherein was written, it is reported among the heathen, and Gashmu said it, that thou and the Jews think to rebel.
You see that? You see that? Now remember, Nehemiah is back building the walls. He building Jerusalem back. He changing the economy back. He freeing black people from the oppression of other leaders and from the businesses that's robbing them. That's what went on in Ferguson. Ferguson, they was robbing them black people. The FBI came in and studied it and said, listen, they running this place like a plantation. That's what the FBI said. Running up tickets and charging people with crimes and then hitting levies on them, you know, interest and all that on them, and then locking them up, taking their houses, getting them thrown out their apartments. That's what they were doing, and they doing it all over the country in a ton of small towns filled with black people in poverty. And Nehemiah had to deal with that, man. Go ahead, read it again. And listen, and when you come to fix them, when you come to get black people straightened out, when you get them off drugs and all that, they think you're going to rebel. They think you're going to start a war. That's what Pharaoh said about us in Egypt, did he not? Pharaoh came back and said that there's too many of them. If a war break out, they're going to side with the enemy against us. Isn't that what he said? That's the same thing Nehemiah had to deal with. Nehemiah said, look, these heathens said, look, if you let them get up, you understand, they might seek to rebel against us. They might destroy our businesses. They might shut us down. That's why them Koreans, during them riots out there, them Koreans got their guns out. Remember that in L.A.? Them Koreans got their guns out and started shooting black people. Meanwhile, black people didn't even come near their businesses. But they start shooting black people because in their mind, the minute you start stepping up against this heathen, oh, they're going to rebel against us. Go ahead, read it again right quick for them. Last ones, y'all. Huh? Go up to verse 2. Go ahead.
That Sanballat and Geshem sent unto me, saying, come, let us meet together in some one of the villages in the plain of Ono.
He said, let's get together like the white man like to do. Let's get together and talk about it. Let's come together in business. Meanwhile, all the businesses that we make millions of dollars off of, he makes trillions of dollars off. He makes billions of dollars off. You understand? I'm not impressed because an athlete makes $100 million a year. They said the average sports team is worth billions, man. Meanwhile, so you give me $100 million, but you get $2 billion while I blow my knees out? Or while I get a concussion on the football field? While you make a ton of money off of the 50,000 fans in there? What's so impressive about that? The short order cook is in the same situation. He make $5-7 an hour, and he got to breathe up the smoke and the grease, and he got to destroy himself as well. We could do better than that, man. We could do way better than that. And if we didn't compromise and believed and trusted in the Lord, we would do better than that. Come on with it, huh?
Oh, God. But they thought to do me mischief. And I sent messengers unto them.
He was wise. Nehemiah was a badass brother. He knew that they were playing him. And he said he sent messengers. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease whilst I leave it and come down to you? Yet they sent unto me 4 times after this sort.
They kept on trying to get him. Come on, man. We got to work together. Come on, man. All that racism, man, that ain't helping nobody, man. Let's sit down together. When it's all BS, man. They coming to wipe you out. Go ahead, And stupid black leaders, you think a preacher would have read this already. You think a black leader would have read this already. You understand? Like when them heathens got a little bit, they get over the top of you and they get a little bit. A lot of us is such suckers for that. You will grovel on the ground. That's why the scriptures say, why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? We'll grovel on the ground for that little crumb that they give us, and that just empowers them more and more and more, instead of us saying, man, let's go get our own crumb. Damn right, damn right. Damn right. Come on, let's finish it. Go ahead.
Yet they sent unto me 4 times after this sort, and I answered them after the same manner. Then Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner the 5th time, with an open letter in his hand.
Go ahead.
Wherein was written, it is reported among the heathen.
Then he switch on you. See that? He come the 5th time, but this time he switched the story on you like a real slime ball. Go ahead.
And Gaslu said that thou and the Jews think to rebel.
Since you don't join us, since you ain't inclusive, since you don't believe in equality for all people, you must gonna rebel against us. You must gonna fight against us. Bear with me a second. Go ahead.
For which cause thou buildest the wall.
That's why you building the wall. You ain't building the wall just to fix Jerusalem. You building the wall to fight against us. Go ahead.
That thou mayest be their king.
That you gonna want to be king. I'm the one ruling over here, but you niggas want to be king. Go ahead.
According to these words, and thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah, and now shall it be reported to the king according to these words.
And when you go to help blacks and Latinos and Native Indians, all they can think about is that you trying to go to war against them. And then they start to plot against you. And that's when he had to go. We ain't going to read it, but when you read further down, that's when he had to have one man working, one man on the wall, one man with a weapon in one hand, one man with a tool in the other hand. He had to do that, not because he was trying to go to war, but because they were going to go to war against him. That's why we are the way we are in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It's the greatest place on earth, man. Nowhere you're going to learn this kind of knowledge and truth from the Most High in Christ. You understand? We should all thank our Father in heaven that he has something called forgiveness and mercy, because otherwise these heathens would have wiped us out in every single one of these captivities. And instead, he sent us the greatest tool we ever had, which is prophets of God. Without prophets of God, you never make it out of captivity. But the Lord sends those all the time, man. And here we are again. And we're going to do a great work this time as well. Hold to our faith, man. You understand? Hold to our faith in this day, in this Feast of Tabernacles, man. So I know I done messed the whole closing up out. So we just we're gonna wave that close out, all right? Let everybody get to their food and drink and call it. Did you finish your part? You did your part, right? All right, so we're gonna end it right there, y'all. All right. I took up all the time. It's like 10 o'clock. Q, you got the last word. Go ahead. Yeah, we can do that. Come on.
Allah upon y'all. Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat Thumb. Sisters Amayim. Only one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amayim Shabbat. Amayim. Barak.
Yahweh Shema Hashem Yahweh.
Ayim dismissed.
Let me see some of the great food y'all been cooking up here. I've been hearing about this food for 3 days.
Thank the water, Jill, for appreciate it. It was an amazing class.